Good evening and welcome to AccendoTraders. This is our trade plan for Tuesday, March 18th, 2008. AccendoTraders, effective trade plans delivered daily. So we're going to start off by looking at our open positions, our watch list, our flag list. We'll set some stops and alerts based on what we saw today. We're going to check news. Tomorrow we have housing starts and building permits, PPI and core PPI. And most importantly, we've got the FOMC policy statement at 2:15 p.m. A lot of people are expecting at least 50%. I've heard even 3/4 of a point. Somewhere last week they talked about 100 points. Who knows? I guess they're assuming that it's going to be at least 50 basis points. But, again, what are we doing to the dollar? Who knows? It's one of those things where you may have to get weaker to get stronger. We'll see. So we do have some economic news before the market, and then we have some more economic news during the day. Tomorrow, with all the broker news we had with Bear Stearns and JP Morgan liquidity concerns, tomorrow before market we have Goldman Sachs and Lehman Brothers, and we also have GameStop tomorrow before the market. Today we had an upgrade of Wynn and a downgrade, go figure, of Goldman Sachs and Lehman Brothers. And we also had a downgrade of Coach. So we've got a little foundation of what type of news expected tomorrow. The market may react to the initial news and then kind of possibly rally or raise into the 2:15 release of the Fed statement. So we'll check indexes to see how we reacted for today's move. We're going to scan for some new trades, set alerts for those new trades, and then we're going to go and have a life. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the indexes and our flag stocks from last night. So looking at our flag list from our weekend rapid report, you can see, looking at the NASDAQ, we all know that the market got down bad or huge or significantly off of the Bear Stearns news. But again, if we look at it, the thing that's is important to note is that we're holding this support level. The buyers came right in, even though we did go down, and I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth here because I'm going to say that although we have not held on to the January lows, we did hold on here. So that's good news, that we didn't fall off. We were certainly headed for, doom and gloom, but the market did rally. But the rally, then the profit taking kind of took off, and we're all waiting to see what the Fed's going to do tomorrow. And it's interesting because we certainly have been very news driven of late, but I'm not sure if a rate cut's really going to amuse the market, because we are sending $1 into the toilet here. Here's the Dow, and again, the Dow did end positive. And again, to note is that we held on to this low here. So we held on to this low. The buyers came back in. Right now, it's still a falling 3 pattern or a very crazy rising 5 pattern, whichever way you want to look at it. But the buyers did come back in. Here's the SPX, and although we did break this level, the buyers did come back in and bring us back above that level. Now, the S&P looks the weakest of them all because it looks like we're still ready just to fall right off. But again, with the Fed tomorrow, and a lot of news in the morning, core PPI and PPI and housing starts and building, a lot of news tomorrow morning that can send the market all over the place. And as again we've seen, the market is very volatile. One of the things I was reading a commentary by Ryan Litchfield, and he was talking about every time the VIX spikes, the market rallies. And the VIX did spike today, up to 36. And so, perhaps that's why the market did come rally into the close or rally above the lows with that spike. Each time we saw a spike, the next couple of days was a rally. But the other thing he said was that with each spike of late, the rally is getting less and less. All right, so here's Apple. We've been waiting for Apple to break out. I'm going to give Apple one more day for the simple fact of if we get good Fed news tomorrow, and this is where our alert was 129. But if we get a good something, if the market reacts well to the Fed tomorrow, Apple will be a good stock to get into. So I want to know what Apple's doing based off of what the Fed says tomorrow. Baidu, you know, at this point I'm probably going to unflag it because it moved way out of the 50. Yeah, so I'm going to unflag Baidu for right now. CHK, that's just too big of a drop, so I'm going to unflag you. DO, same thing. DO, if you look at it, has entered a very nice consolidation pattern, basically from here to here. So what you want to do is set some long-term alerts for DO at 126 and below, 117. Nice consolidation pattern, nice rectangle. So we're waiting for a breakout one way or the other. Be interesting to see. Let's take a look at the bands. And you can see, look at the bands are really starting to pinch on this one. Here's the fast bands. So the bands are really starting to pinch. You can see they're pinching right at these rectangle that I drew. So you can set some alerts and just come back to them if they ever get set off to see if we get a breakout one way or the other. But I am going to unflag it. But I would suggest that you set an alert and walk away from 126, 117 on DO. Dry shipping. What you see with this one and with a lot of our put plays is that the gap down really affected us getting in. And so this is all nice. We've been talking about dry shipping since all the way up here. But with the gap down, we kind of lost our play. GG, gold. Gold, I like the sideways move. I would say go ahead and put another alert right around today's open, around $45 to see if gold can go higher. GameStop, we have earnings tomorrow, so go down and flag that. Goldman Sachs, big move. Go down and flag it. LVS, again, the gap down affected our move. Go to unflag it. MasterCard, the gap down takes that move out. MOS, again, one of our old-time favorites, but the gap down really affected that one. So you can see we're unflagging away here. Merck, we had a nice play here. I'm going to keep it flagged just in case it keeps coming back down to our entry of $40, $41. MTL, really, I'm unflagging it for our call, but I may come back and say, let's look at this for a put. NYX, I think we should keep that. You can see there that we did close below our support line. So certainly we can put an alert somewhere in this wick around $55. PBR, that gap down really takes out our play. So I'm flagging PBR. PCP, still hovering at our support line, so I'm going to keep it flagged. Put an alert around 92.75, 92.50. Pot, as much as I like it, that gap down really didn't help us. But I'm going to keep pot flat because if the Fed is doing something nice tomorrow and the market reacts well to it, pot might be a nice one to get back into. RTI, great, but the gap down really affected our play. So unflag it. The thing to note about Steel Dynamics is that with the market being the way that it is, we still have a great play. So keeping Steel Dynamics for this rising 3 pattern. USO, look at that. But the thing about this is that we should keep it flagged because, it broke the 10. So one of two things are going to happen. We're going to get a nice bounce tomorrow, or it's going to continue to go down. So you might put an alert back above the 10 around 84.50 and down at the bottom of the wick to see if it's going to break lower. VLO, The gap down took out our play. WFR, we can keep it. Keep our alert at yesterday's open. And finally, WLT. I'm going to unflag this one. Well, I'm going to keep it because it came down here, bounced. But keep our alert around $59. You two folks, you know I got to go. Sorry.